And here we are. It's on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm trying to figure out what what some people might think of the difference of leadership and management. And I have to tell you that for me, leadership is one of those things that you have to have the characteristics. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter if you've been in a company for 30, 40 years. However, if you have been in an organization or a company for 20, 30 years, you have to realize that times change. You have to realize that people don't think the same way. You have to be able to adapt to the changes, as we all are very aware and know that change is really the only constant in life. And if you look around, things are constantly changing. Take computers for example. You buy a computer and 6 months later it's changed differently. You have to upgrade if you want to stay with the times and with correct technology. So times definitely change constantly. And as a leader, if you've been around for 20, 30 years, you have to get out of that mentality that things continue to work the same way as they did when you first started working with the organization or any organization, because it does not work anymore. Policies, procedures, all those things change. Uh, you're dealing now with millennials. You're dealing with people that can have information. It's at the tip of their fingers. They pull out their phone and they can get the information they need right then and there. However, there are things when they come into a new organization that, of course, millennials or new era thinkers, the way I like to look at them or think about them, is that they can change the future quickly. They are the ones that are going to be signing our paychecks down the road, Social Security, who knows what they'll be doing. So for people that have been around for 20, 30 years in an organization and expect to manage these type of people, the new generations coming up, the same way as they did back 20, 30 years ago, you're in for a lot of frustration, a lot of issues, and you're probably going to end up losing a lot of really good people that could really move any organization forward if you don't adapt to the changes. And we don't deal with those kind of things today as opposed of as tomorrow. You have a lot of people that have great ideas, know the definitions of things, and can have the answers for you. They carry them in their pocket. So as a leader that has been around for a long time, the one thing that I suggest to you is to adapt to the changes and don't treat people like you did 20, 30 years ago, because that does not work. All you're going to end up with is lots and lots of resentment, and you will lose a lot of people, and who knows how much it will affect your organization. There are ways to allow, there's techniques to allow both generation gaps, to fill the generation gap. There's techniques to bring them together, to bring both ways of thinking, old way of thinking and the new way of thinking, and bring them together. But you have to be able to know how to do it. And one of the things is just adaptation. You have to adapt, and you have to have people buy into the adaptation of new way of thinking. I mean, come on, let's be serious. I mean, look around you, go into restaurants, for example. Look at the changes that have happened in some restaurants. You have the little kiosk or little tablets on your table. You can put in your orders. You can pay. You don't need a waitress anymore. And I'm telling you that in the future, all that's going to change. Eventually you may only have one person bringing out the food to you, and that's it. You won't see any waiters and waitresses. Who knows? There'll be a time when you'll be able to go to the bar and get your own drink through a machine. I mean, all these things are coming. And you just have to be able to realize that as a leader, you have to adapt to the changes. Because as I stated earlier, if you don't, you are going to be dealing with so much frustration and dealing with so much resentment that again, like I said, I don't know, depends on your organization, but how much effect it's going to have. What about all those people that are leaving companies that have been around for 20, 30 years? They're leaving with all that knowledge. How you need to adapt to the new people and bring them together to be able to crisscross, what I call crisscrossing knowledge. You have to be able to bring these people together so they can understand each other and share their knowledge. So as a leader, remember, don't treat people like you did 20, 30 years ago. Adapt to changes and allow people to make suggestions, because they are the ones that are going to move your company forward and make the changes that are needed to be able to compete. And with that, my friends, thank you so much. Dr. Luciano Santini, The Motivation Key. Talk to you guys later. Thank you very much.